Good afternoon, traders. Welcome to our trading room. It's a New York session. We normally, in the New York session, we will look at trades that we took earlier or trades that we were in earlier, and then after that, we're going to look at the trades that have setups, and then we're going to go for it. We have CAD news in 2 hours. I'm not sure we will trade the news in here, Jeffrey, but if I finish the news, if I finish this session, remind me to finish this session before 1.5 hours. We'll close this room. We'll go in our trading room and we'll trade the CAD news. Okay, we're not going to do that in here. That's a strategy we don't want to expose in the public here, right? We'll just keep that to the trading room. So let's go. Okay, guys, thank you for coming. Let me thank you for coming. Again, let me remind you, please go to the YouTube thing. You know my YouTube channel. Go there. Make sure you share the New York session yesterday. It was amazing. It's interesting, and it has a lot of very good information that traders who are new to trading might learn from. It's good if you can share all of them, like them, and leave your comments. I would like to see 36 comments on them on what you think about the webinars that you attended. 36 of you here now. I know we'll have more people in, but I'd like to see you go and leave a comment. It will only take you a minute to do that. All right, so I'm hoping that you can go and you can leave that comment there. Thank you very much. Let's go. So let's start with the dollar index. The dollar index this morning, we were saying we're looking for a sell setup. And I specifically mentioned if it goes up, we might not buy it. If we see this is going up here, it starts to come down. If you take the trade closer for break even, we might not be buying this, even if it retests the top the way it's going, right? Because if you look at the bigger picture, we're trying to get the downside. So remember we said you can put this here for the aggressive trade. Now you would take that out and put it here. I'll take this off and let's put it here, right? So if this starts to drop right now, you want that trade. So this entry order is a good one. We'll leave it there. We'll put it now, it's not as a 15-minute, but it's a good entry order, which means that's a sell setup. If it comes all the way to the top here, you will take it off. We'll wait for an impulse down. We'll wait for a flag and we'll sell. For my traders, you will re-enter it as an aggressive trade under the last impulse, right? You will keep that there because at some point this thing is going to drop. Remember this again, at some point it could drop and it could drop really, really fast and you're not going to get your chance to get it. If you understand what I'm saying, if you know how these tops normally just tumble when you get this pattern, you will understand how to trade, right? So I explained that already. I'm going to go through all the majors. We'll deal with all the majors. So we were looking at silver, and like I said, it could start the up move. We just don't have the setup for a bias yet. I still think we might even get a sell first, but we don't have a sell right now until I get this. Until I get a drop beyond that point and a flag, we're not, because a drop beyond that point could still go back up for a running flat. So I want to make sure I'm not, getting trapped in a running flat that is going to fall, that is going to go back up. So I'll wait for a flag under this low. Normally we put an entry here for the sell, but because of this one, I wait for them to come here. And if we get a flag here, we will sell. If they go back up, well, we could consider the running flat for a buy. We will consider it, not necessarily take that trade. So we'll stay out of this. Gold, on the other hand, looks very good. So if you sold gold, you can put that to break even now. So let's say in the 15, it did go back up. We expect that when it come here. If you closed it, it's okay. But if you didn't close it, because it dropped straight through. So if you didn't close it, you're waiting for it to see whether it's going to go back up and come. You're in a good trade. It's going down, but it's going down slow. So there's another 15-minute trade here. If you're not in the trade, you can put another entry for a sell here. If you're not in this one, if you're in this one, you don't want to put this sell here. You just want to keep your stop there or your stop here, even than this one to go. If you take this trade, put your stop here. Let it take you out, because if they come here and they go back up, it's going to break out of this. It's a new high. You'll be actually really looking for a buy at the top here. Right, so you can actually look for a buy at the top there if they tag you. So if it tags you and it doesn't break out, we will try to get break even out of it. Now there's a very strong probability it's going to drop, because it kind of dropped. It made an expanding flat here drop. You're making a flag here. If you drop, you can probably drop through this low, and then you will either make a deeper correction and drop, or it's going to totally drop. Most times you will get a deeper 1-hour correction here. So you will close this trade for break even or a small profit. You're going to get a bigger one, and then tomorrow we're going to sell that. Pretty easy, right? Let's see if that happens. So it's a sell setup. It's an aggressive sell setup on the 15. Do we have a trade here? Nope, not as yet. Do we have the euro sell we're already in? Those of you who were in from this morning, you're already in the 1 hour. It's really moving nice. You don't have to do anything. You can see that. By rule, you shouldn't touch it. So we will trade this until it's at the bottom here. You can put your stop here. We're waiting for this to come in. You should have your stop was there. You'll move it down to this level. You'll reduce your risk by half. Regardless of what happened, you can't lose what you were totally risking on. So if it's 1% or 2%, you're going to lose half of what you risk. But we wanted to break this low, and somewhere here you will move into profit. If you think it starts to pull back, take the profit off. Right? Wait for another flag, sell again. If it's going to make another flag to go, because somewhere along this line here, it could go back up. Right? So this is a nice trade, and like I said this morning, it's probably going to be just a one-to-one trade, but nothing much happening right now. So you may as well take the trade. Okay, so now we can consider a buy. Now that it is consolidating here, we can look at that consolidation in the 15 and decide whether we're getting a buy setup. We've got a sharp pullback. I would probably take that as a small consolidation. This one, it's going there, it's coming here. It's a lot of sharp moves, but if they stay in this range, we'll go with a buy setup. Right? Now, what if it starts to drop? It has to break this low, make a flag before we sell. I can still see it going down. We can still see the possibility of this going down. We don't have a sell setup as yet, right? So if you put it like this and you assume that, well, it is going to fall. Let's assume this is going to fall. It has to break this low before I consider buy. Break the low, make a flag, then we sell. Otherwise, to that, we'll wait for it. And if it stays here in the consolidation, we'll buy it. This is not enough consolidation. That's just 3 sharp waves. That's not the trade you're looking for, right? Aussie. If you're in the Aussie sell and you close it for break even, no problem. Take it off, don't sell it. Right? So I'll take it off. If you didn't take off break even, put it to break even if you can. If not, close it for break even, take it off. It's not going the way we expect it to go. So what we will do is we'll wait to see if this makes a bigger flat here. If it makes a bigger one, then we'll trade that down tomorrow. It's not going to happen today. It'll take a while. It'll take about 6 hours to 8 hours. And then we'll sell it. If it drops, no problem. It's not going as fast as you would like it to go. You don't want to be stuck with it. Right? If you want to put an entry lower again, it will probably tag you. Let me see in the 15. Let this go back up. And the 15, we don't have anything for this. This is a small flag. That is a small flag. Let this go back up here. And then we will put an entry under this low for that sell if it drops. So we probably today you could do that. If it goes back up, break this top, put the entry for the sell. New Zealand, it's going back up and we expected that. So those of you who were with me this morning, I said, we're going to get this, we're going to get this, we're going to get this. And then we want this to go back here. When it breaks that top, we'll be looking for a sell setup here. That will likely happen tomorrow. Maybe in the London session, we're going to get 1, 2, 3. Now the question is, can we buy this? Let me use the yellow. Can we buy this straight up? I think we can do that. The risk to reward is good, right? If this is going to go back up, it will probably go about another, I don't know, another 50, 60 pips up. So if you get a flag here, we'll take the trade. We don't have a flag. As soon as we get a flag here, we're going to consider buying it to break this top. It did exactly what we wanted it to do. So now it has to go back up, make a big flat, and then drop. If it drops here, just ignore it. We'll go with a contracting flat. But I don't think it's a contracting flat. Yen, still going up. If you get any flag to buy, you can buy. This is a very small one. That's a 50-minute flag. If you buy it, you want to close it. Close it and put it to break even because the chances are this could start to drop. We don't have a sell set up as yet. But if it drops, we can take the sell. Now, there might be an aggressive sell there for my traders. If you want to take the aggressive sell, it's a high risk, very high risk trade. You know how to do that. Because of the top, the weekly top we are in, you can put that entry for an aggressive sell. That is a very aggressive sell. We'll probably not open that to the public unless, because they wouldn't be able to manage it after when we left here. When I left here, you guys know how to manage that. Swiss. Okay, so it's coming up back as we expected, right? So we had 1, 2, 3 this morning. I told you we were going to go back up for this one. It started, but it's not a buy. You can see if the way it's going, you're not really buying this. Let it finish that. Let it finish this flat. Maybe we will get that sell to the downside. Just maybe we'll get that trade. If we get a flag anywhere here, we'll sell it. But from the bottom here, any up move with a buy is going to be a buy because this is going to be a huge impulse out of the structure. So we will look for a sell on the way down and we look for a buy on the way up. Let's see if we get any of those. We don't have any of those. This could go some more. I'm not looking for a buy there. Let it go some more, and then we look for the sell, right? Because we're making a bigger flat. If you were here yesterday, I told you we we're going to make a bigger flat like this, and then we're going to start to do this upwards. So when this come back here, we're going to start to do that upwards. This would be the best trade to get, but if we get this one, we'll take it, and then we'll start to take this one to the upside from wherever we get it. CAD. You should have been in the CAD and closed it already, and then you put the entry order under this low. I don't think it's going to go now. I can tell you that immediately. I think this one is going to come here. You'll probably get a small flat there. It's going to go back up. It's probably going to come back down, probably go back up, and then we'll get a sell. So we'll probably be stuck with the CAD here for a while before we get the sell set up. Now, when we get a big flat like this in that, it's probably just going to come here, go back up there, complete that, come here, and then take off. So let me show you that on the 1 hour. I'll go through back that again for those who are here. Come here, go back there, come here, go back there, make a flat. It could probably come here, go back up, come back here, go there. We're going to get this flat, and then we're going to get 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to take off. Now, the question is, can you take this trade? If not, can we get that trade? If not, can we get this trade? If not, can we get this trade? All of those are, this is 1, 2, 3 very small trades, but the bigger trade would be this one going up. So 3 small trades, 1 big trade. We tried to get this morning, twice break even, right? Probably the first time was about 5 pips loss, the second time break even. So let's call it twice break even. Now is whether we can get this trade to go down. It's not a big one. And the more you consolidate it, less you want to sell it. We'll see. We'll come back to that. We took the Euro New Zealand. We have the Euro New Zealand sell here. When it was here, it went up higher. So we'll wait for this to make a flag. We wouldn't sell it here. We'll leave that entry there, but we wouldn't sell it here. We'll wait for this to make a flag here. And then we're going to sell this flag here today to the downside, right? We know where this is going, or at least we assume we know where we'd like it to go. I told you already. First, you want it to come back to this level here. And then there is a chance it could go back one more up to this top. We're going to be looking at this flat. Come back here and then drop. The drop should break the low, the bigger low on the weekly. I showed you that pattern this morning. If you were not here this morning, go back and watch that webinar. It'll be out tomorrow. You should watch all the ones you miss because they have information that are important in them, right? So we're looking for this sell, wait for us, go back into 15 and wait for a flag. We don't really have a flag. It's now making a flag, right? So once it goes back up and consolidate, we'll put the sell on. Euro Swiss, we had it here, we move it. You can put it under this one. This one is kind of consolidating here. Let me see something. What if they tag you here and go back up? That is possible with this. I think it's possible. Keep it under the low. Put this under the low until we can confirm. This is not a big one. This didn't go that high, right? This one didn't go that high. This is a perfect flat. So keep it under this low. Just for safety. The trade is a big trade to the downside, right? The trade will come back to retest the low. So you're expecting this, if it drops, to drop like that. Not in a single trade, but drop, make a flag, drop, make a flag, drop, make a flag, and something like that, right? We'll see if that goes. It can go back up. I think because of the consolidation there, it could go back up, make a new high, then drop. So if it goes back up, would we buy it? Probably not. We're looking for the downside. Like just like we bought this up, we bought that up. This one we were looking, this was a buy here for upside. We're looking for a sell setup as such there as yet. And EuroCAD, you should already be in that trade. So now you can put this to break even. Let's see, it looks like it's going to come back on the 5th. Yeah, it will probably come back. So if you want, you can either put it to break even or you can close the trade here and put a low, an entry lower. This is definitely going to go back up. This is going to go back up there, tag you, and then come. So if it tags you for break even, put a stop here. So I would say put the trade to break even. The trade should have been entered here, right? This morning when I left, I said, if my traders probably got it there. If it makes a flag here, sell it there. I wasn't in the trading room. I don't know if the guys take it. Anybody was there? Judge, you remember anybody was there? Any one of you guys took the trade from that point? Because we got 1, 2, 3, and that was a good sell. Okay, yes, Gills is in. Well, then you guys will keep it there. I was not there, so we'd leave this entry. Put it at break even. Any one of those two, put it at break even. Here's what will happen. The chances are this will come back here and tag you for break even. Put the entry under the low, and we're going to go for the next drop. Right? So we'll go with that. Take the break even. If you want to close it here, take that profit and put an entry here, that's a good idea because it will go back up. So if you think you want this couple pips, it's just a couple pips. If you want that couple pips, close it here, put an entry here, because I truly believe this is going to go back there and then come. And in the worst case, you're just losing a couple pips, right? You're giving up a couple pips. So for us, I would put an entry here, but this entry shouldn't go here as yet. My traders understand the logic behind it. You can only put that entry there if you were in the trade. If you were not in the trade, wait until it goes back up and then put this entry. Wait till it goes back here and then put that entry on for this flat. We're looking for that flat. And then we'll go with this, just like this here. See this flat here? You're looking for that flat before you get a trade to go. So it will go back up and then you put that entry and we'll go for the trade. If you put it in a drop now, you have to keep a stop above this stop here, above the last impulse. We wanted to break this low, and this one, we expect to go quite a lot down. I showed this already. We're expecting this to come and break this low. Literally come and break that low. So this should drop, maybe make a flag, drop, make a flag, drop. And then from under this low, we'll see if they go back up. It's a good trade. I like it. It's classical. It's not. We had this one here. Very nice. And let's see what else we had. We had Aussie Swiss. Well, if you're in this one, I hope you managed to take some profit here. If you didn't manage to take some profit, close to break even. Let it pull back into this. It's making a flag here. It's kind of making a small flag here. It will stay here for a while. Close it, because if it makes a flag, we'll buy it. We're in this structure and it can go back up, right? Remember we spoke about that this can go back up. Especially since it starts to consolidate with that big 1, 2, 3 in there. They came back to this bottom. There's a good chance you can go back up again to the top and then come back up. This would eventually drop, but you can make flags like that, go, come back, go, come back, go, come back, and then eventually drop. So we'll take the trades. Worst case, I'll say you call this a break even. You took it if you didn't close it anywhere in here. Let me see in the 15 here. There was a lot of time to close it. It was a 15-minute trade. You probably dropped there, you see it, you close it here. You probably not here, but you would close it somewhere here. If you didn't, this is going to come back here. Take break even. So we'll take it off as a break even trade. This is going to consolidate here. We might even get the buy. If it consolidates here, we'll buy it. We'll definitely buy it. We'll buy it to go retest the top. It's very slow sometimes to the upside, like this one, for example. See? If we get this, and not as big as that, you're going to get a smaller version of that here. We're going to take this straight to retest the top. So let's see if we get it. What else we're looking for? We were S&P 500. Yep, it's still a sell. Perfect. NASDAQ still a sell. Now we will put the NASDAQ. Remember this morning we didn't move it because I told you we didn't move it to this low because I told you this one is going to come down. It's going to tag that low, and then there's a chance it's going to go back up. All right, those who were in this morning. When it go back up and it breaks this top, we're going to put this entry order here. You would say, well, why don't you buy this? Well, this is your impulse and this is your correction. I don't know how far this is going to go. It could break the top. I don't know that. What I know is it could also do this and drop, and I want to sell. I'm looking for this move down, not this move up. So sometimes it goes up. Well, like I said, those 10% of times you don't have to worry about it. It's not your problem. Let it go. We like this, and this one is at the right space. We're not going to move it higher. We have a running flat in the middle. You can literally see this small running flat here. So this is going to go up. It might even pull back and go back up, and then we'll move it to this level. We're not buying in that up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. We want the drop. This is the trade you want. Can it drop in this session now? Absolutely. If it drops, remember what I said, one drop, take profit. It makes one drop like this, stop, take profit, because it's going to go back up for 1, 2, 3. It's going to go back up 1, 2, 3. And then tomorrow we'll sell this. If you get that buy, that would be amazing. Especially if you get it from the bottom here. But the sell is the one we're going to be looking for tomorrow. See? Pretty easy. So the sell setups, these are amazing sell setups. These are easy, right? Maybe this one you wanted to go up so that you can put it like this and sell from here, but you wanted to break the top first. This one is easy. I like this and I like this. This one, sorry, I like S&P 500 more. So let's hope NASDAQ go up and give you that. DAX was a sell. Yep, it's still a sell. It's going up a little more, but we'll follow it up and go for the sell. So those are the trade setups we looked at this morning. Those are recorded. Normally at this point, we will close the recording and we would look for other trades. But since this is open to the general public and information will come out there that you guys would be interested in, we'll leave the recording going. This morning, it turned out 1 hour and a half Q&A we did. Today, we will go with less Q&A. We're going to go with more trading. Let's look for trade setup. So you have some trades that are active right now going. You move your stops to break even. We're going to look to take profit in those trades. And we're going to look for new trade setups. We don't have any more in these right now. Like I said, these doesn't have anything more right now. We'll have to wait on them. Let's see. We don't have a buy setup in here. Somebody keep me updated on this for the buy setup. When it kind of do this and come back here, give me a heads up and we will go with that for the buy. All right, we just need a flag like this and we'll take the buy. So my traders, keep your eyes on that. Okay, what are the trade setups you guys are looking at? Everybody, and you can just post the chart you're looking at, which one you would want me to look at, and we'll look at if there's a trade setup, we'll take the trade. Pound Swiss, is Pound Swiss ready? Let's see. Pound Swiss. Okay, it's at the top. So this morning we bought this. For those of you who were not here, we bought this here this morning. We took it off here. It actually dropped. It went back up. We wouldn't buy this on the way up back. Definitely not. We're expecting it to drop. So this is what we have right now in the Pound Swiss. You have an impulsive move up. You have a 1, 2, 3 down. You have an impulsive move up. You have a 1, 2, 3 down. You have an impulsive move up. This should be an impulse to the downside. We're looking for this impulse down. Not a 1, 2, 3. An impulsive movement. Now, do we have a setup for that? Nope, we don't. Actually, it dropped and it pulled back all the way to the top, so we don't have a sell setup. Right? Even if we assume that this here is a running flat, which I think at some point you could make that assumption. 1, 2, 3 is a running flat. This needs to go back up here, come back, make a flag, and then drop. So that will take a while. We don't have a sell setup there. We'll wait for the sell though. Keep an eye out for the sell. We can't sell it here. We haven't broken the stop as yet. Let it break the top, then we go for the sell. See, there are rules of how this works, right? You have to understand how the pattern will continue, how it will develop, what is going to stop. And then, you go for it if it goes. Swiss, I think dollar Swiss, we are looking for a trade on. Dollar Swiss, it's doing exactly what we wanted it to do. We wanted it to go back up. We wanted this to go back up. It's going back up. Now we look for the sell. Come back to this level, go back up there. Come back this level and then go, right? So we want this move down. We got 1, 2, 3. We got 1, 2, 3. We want 1, 2, 3, and then okay, this should go. Sorry. So we want the sell and then we want the buy to the upside. Let's see if we're gonna get the sell here now. Not as yet, and I don't think we're gonna have it even so quick because there's a good chance this is gonna come here. This could come here, go back up, retest the top, then come down, give us a flag and go. So we need a flag on the downside. We need something like this. Put an entry for the sell and get that trade down. Once it breaks the low, this would be the trade. If we get the flag here, this would be the trade. And then we'll trade it up. We'll definitely take it to the upside. Pong Yen. No problem. Let's take a look. It doesn't matter if we looked at it already. If you think there's a setup there, just let me know. We'll look at them. Oh, Pong Yen should be the top here. Let's see. Oh, it actually went higher. Let's see. Well, going higher above that top doesn't really mean anything. Pong Yen, let me show you the Pong Yen. It's in this structure, so we have time. We can discuss this. We're making a big correction here. I think you can already see that, right? Like really huge correction. Here's the thing with that. We've got 1, 2, 3. Let's start with that. We've got here, right? I'm going to start with this piece, right? We have got 1, 2, 3. Now we are making this one. This is pretty huge. Right? But it has to come back down at some point. It has to come back down here to complete this. Right? So then it will have to do like a 1, a 2, and a 3 to complete this. And so you have to do a 1, a 2, and a 3 to come. And then it will have to go back up, come back down, and then go back out there. So you're going to have this flat eventually. This is the B wave coming down here. And then it's going to go back up there, complete that flat. And then it will have to come back here because we're doing this one. You'll have to complete this and then go. So the question is, do we have a trade in it right now that we've broken out of that top? Not that I see, right? It's a pity. I don't know if any one of you got this trade. This is the one we're looking for. If anybody got that trade there, it was only to this level we expected to go, but it actually went out of it. So now we can easily say, is this the flat we're looking at? This one, right? This one. Let me take this off and take this off, and we're looking at this flat. So it went a little higher. Now we just needed to come back down, right? Is this a complete one? Could we assume that this here is complete and that's the top of this whole one? Can we assume that this is the top of that whole piece? We'll have to relook at it. I don't think so, but we can relook at it to see whether there's a more complex pattern in here. Because if that is so, then we're still coming down, right? This still has to come back here. The question is, would it come here or would it just stop short there? So we'll put both options. One is it come here and go back up, retest this top, and then come down to the bottom here. One is it comes to the bottom here and goes straight to the top. Right? So those are the options of how you look at this pattern inside here. We'll relook at that in more details later. So I'll take this off. This is irrelevant right now. We're just looking at the inside of it. Oh, did I accidentally stop sharing? My fault. 1 second, guys. That happens sometimes where I try to click this thing here and it clicks the stop. So let me move it out from there. So I'll take off this as well. This is no longer, you see, it's right under the stop sharing. Sorry for that. I hope you guys can see my charts again. US oil, let's go. You guys tell me what else you want to look at. And if we have a trade set up in it, we'll take the trade. US oil, this morning we were looking at a trade setup. It actually went, it didn't go back up, it actually dropped. So let's see if we get a trade here. Wait a second. It actually dropped through the bottom, which is not good. We had the sell and we took it off. So let's see what happens here now. This is not all, this can be all the correction. We were expecting it to come here and go back up. I still think there's a chance they're gonna go back up. So let's put it like this. There's still a chance we have to go back up one more. Right, I don't see this as the complete pattern. One, this is very sharp. So there's a good chance we might be looking at a possible expanding flat where we go back up there and then drop. If for whatever reason, this is all the correction and it makes a flag here, we'll sell it. But you want the flag there, go back on the 1 hour, wait for a 1 hour flag and then sell. I still think it should go back up one more. And then we get the sell. But if you get a flag here, wait for a flag. This is only 2 hours. That is not enough. Give it about 2 or 3 more hours. Put an entry under the low. If they go back to the top, can we buy it? You'll need a flag to do that. It dropped. We had the sell, but I think we closed it earlier because it went back up, and this one went back all the way to this top. So I wasn't sure that the consolidation was finished. Why would it be like that? Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Anyway, it's probably because all of this is one consolidation. All of this is one piece. So you can take it this way. We'll have to relook at it properly. So it's more like this, with this piece being part of it. Right? Not the little piece we're looking at, but this entire piece. Because this by itself, 1, 2 would more. This is not the correction. So the whole piece could make sense. And if you get a big correction like that inside of this and inside of this, you're probably going to go back up. It will go back up. We don't have a buy setup. I wouldn't take the sellers yet. This one is pretty low too. If this consolidates here, let's sell. This could be all the correction. And this could be a flag. So if this consolidates here, we'll sell it. We'll go for the sell. It's a small one. You're in the 15 and the 1 hour, it's only 2 hours. Give it some more time. Okay, what are the trade setups? I like these. These are complete patterns. So put your entry in these. These have been consolidating for hours and hours and hours. And they can drop in New York session. Right? It can drop in this New York session. So these are the ones you want to focus on. Let's go. What else? Any other trade setups you're looking at? Pound, let me see the pound New Zealand, what it's doing. We were expecting it to go up. I think it went up. Let's see if it went as far as we want it to go. No, we're waiting to see if it's going to break this top. So it has to go and break that up, right? So let's put it like this. So 2 points right now. From this point, you can come back one more, test the low and then go break the top, or this one can go break the top. So we wait for a correction here and then we buy it. If it drop makes a flag, we sell it back to here and then we buy back to the top. Right, those are the two options right now. Let's see what we have in the 15. So on the 15, if this makes a flag here, we'll sell. If this stays as a flag here, we will sell this because we might retest the low and then go. If this goes up at the top there and make a flat, we'll buy it. Right, so it's one of the two options. You're going to be here. If we don't get the trade in this session, we'll get the trade tomorrow morning. Join us. You will see how we do it. And you'll see what is the trade setup we're looking for. Because remember, somebody was sending me some charts and said, well, what would be the seller to buy here? Here's the reality. This is what you have. Hindsight. Let me show you what's hindsight. Hindsight, if this thing makes a flag here, if this thing does this, and then go up here. Hindsight, you would say, yeah, I would buy that. But now you don't know if you should buy it or sell it until you get the confirmation. Hindsight, if it goes here, you would say, yeah, this was a perfect buy to go there. And you would expect that to happen. But if you jump in that trade now, you can watch it come here, take you out, and then go there. And that happens to traders quite a lot because they don't understand that just because it's going in that direction, the pattern can be more complex. Complexity of the pattern is a problem. And this is what we do in our trading room every single day. We break it up, we look at the complex pattern, we look at the simple part, we look at where the trade is, we decide whether it's a good trade, we decide what's a strategy we're going to use, and then we decide how to manage it. If you join us, you get all of that. And you get all of that for free for a lifetime. Okay, let's go. What else? Euro yen. Euro yen, let's take a look at it. I don't think anything changed in it, but we can take a look. Let's see. Yeah, nothing changed. It just went up a little more. So we'll take this off. It's at the top. So we're in this big structure in the euro yen. Let me just go through this since we have time. I'm going to go through the bigger details for you guys too. So this is what the euro yen looks like in the weekly. See? You kind of get that move up. You kind of get this move down. You get that up. You get, this is a perfect one. Now you have 1, 2, 3. We were focusing the break of that up. Then we were expecting it to come back here. Maybe this level and then go back up. Pretty much like what the dollar yen should do. It should come here and then go back up there. After which we'll decide whether this was a big flat or whether that will be the end of the whole structure, right? So, I mean, the bigger structure coming lower, because this has a lot more here that we'll have to deal with. So right now, let's go back to the 1 hour. We're at the very top, right? Remember I showed you the break at the top of that structure, which is important. So we broke the top of that structure already. This was a nice trade, by the way. And this was a nice one. So now we're at the top. Here is the thing. We did tag the top here. So when they tag the top, normally you would see them go back like this. Go back there and retest the top like this. And then come down. But because we're consolidating here, I'm a little cautious. We had a very small one here, but then we took off. But now you're not taking off. You're kind of pulling back. And this is not really a flag for a buy or a flag for a sell. On the 1 hour, you don't have either. It's not a buy or a sell setup in that area there. It's just going up, pulling back, where you kind of, this one would have been a buy, but then you pull back, you go, you pull back, you go. If this pulls back here and we get this one, we're going to take the trade from here going up to break the top. But we need this pullback first to confirm. If you get a flag at the top there, you can consider that, but that's a risky trade. Same thing in pound yen, right? All the yen pairs have these big kind of setups at the top there. We can go through them if you want. CAD yen has a perfect one. It broke the top. We spoke about that this morning. We broke the top. We actually wanted it to go break the top. And you can see why. Because we've got 1, 2, 3. Perfect pattern. When it was here. If you were following me with CAD yen, remember when we were in here, I actually put these arrows here for you guys to follow what it's going to do, and then it's going to go up. We broke the top now. So if you're going to buy above this top, you need a consolidation to confirm more upside. Breaking the top means it can come back down. So unless we get that consolidation, the buy would be difficult. So you would have to wait for a good 1 hour flag or a 4 hour flag before you get into any buy. which means breaking the top is good. We were trading it up to the top. We got a lot of break-even trades in here, right? So now I think this was the closest you could have probably got to a trade. Wait for a flag here. And if we get this, we'll take that trade up. If it starts to reverse, we're going to take any sells we get back to the low. We have the same thing on New Zealand yen, right? 4 hour, this is the New Zealand yen, see? We want this to go break that top, and then it should come back here and then go. So once it breaks that up, we should get a sharp move back down to this level, complete this running flat, right? This kind of a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, come back here for 3 and then go. So this is very similar to what I just showed you in the CAD yen, the pound yen, the euro yen. Let's go with the Aussie yen. I think you can already see the same setup, right? You have a 1, 2, 3, go break that top, come back here, make a flat, and then go. So all of them have a downside and then the upside. Swiss yen. This one is a little difficult because we can't exactly say that this one has a downside. The reason is you can put this as a running flat. It's not a perfect one. There's only one correction here. So it's not a perfect running flat. So I would say let's leave that there. We'll come back to this, see whether we're going to, how we were going to put it. But this looks like the perfect running flat. So you get 1, 2, 3. You get this big flat here, go there. Then they make a 1, 2, 3, come back here. Make a running flat like that and then go up. So this downside is possible. But if you get any flag there, buy, because if this is the running flat, this would just continue to go. So put it on the 1 hour. Any flag you get above the top is a buy setup. Take it. Do we have a flag? Well, we have 1, 2, 3 hours consolidation, not really a flag. See, this is what it looks like. This is not a flag, this is not a flat. This is just this move down and that move up. If it comes back here, you have a flat. You can put an entry here for the buy. So we need this to consolidate here. The more it consolidates here, the better that trade is to the upside. So wait, if this goes and break the top, I don't think it's a trade you should take. It's too high a risk on a small flag like that. So find another yen pair that has a less risk trade to go with. See? Pretty easy. Let's go. What other trade setups? So let's look back at the trades we're in. This is going good. You don't have to worry about it. You can put an entry here too. You can put an entry under this low and wait. Let's see if they drop. I think they're going to go back up, tag this stop, and then drop. Right. Euro Swiss. I don't like this consolidation, so we'd leave it here for now. Euro New Zealand. It went back, so we can put this entry over here now. Right, so if you look at the 5 minute, you have 1, 2, 3. If this drops, that's a 15-minute flat, right? So you can go with this. If this drop, we want to trade at the bottom here. We're going to put it to break even, and let's see if it drops through the bottom. So this is a trade we'll go with, right? What is all that noise? Okay, sorry about that. Yeah. So we have a trade set up there. We'll see how far this goes. Take this out. That's an aggressive trade. So when we take an aggressive trade like that, we put it as this euro New Zealand, we put it as orange because a 15 minutes aggressive trade, which means you have to manage it very carefully. Anything else? Euros has anything? Yep, euro has it's making a flag there. It's not quite a flag as it, but it's making one. Let's see. We don't have enough on the 15. Let's see, it looks like on the 5. It's not enough. It's making a consolidation, but it's too small. So you'd want this. You probably want this to go back up some more, come back here, make a flat like this, go back up and then drop. But if it goes and it breaks this top, it hasn't broken that. But when it breaks the top, we'll put an entry over under this low for a sell. And let it make a flat and then go back up, and then we'll raise the entry order higher. So you can put a sell in the making there. Or waiting for that flag to complete, and that would be a sell. The sell is only to break this low. So basically, if we get a sell there, we think it's just going to come to about this level. Just break this low, and then the chances are you're going to go back up, right? If we break that low, the chances are this becomes a flat, and we'll look for the buy. So there's a nice trade to get here, and then we'll start to look for that trade and see where this takes us. Remember, it can go in the bigger picture I showed you, can go up all the way back to the top here, all the way back to this top, and then come back down. So let's get the sell first, and then we'll go get the buy. And consolidate some more. Okay, you can put the entry order in now. It's going to break that up and then probably consolidate some more. So we'll put that as an aggressive sell. Okay. What else? Any other trade setups? Anyone? Natural gas 1 hour running flat. Natural gas. No, we're not going to label charts in here. Sorry. For the running flat on the 1 hour. I think somebody sent me a chart back and label it. No, this is not this is a trading session. It's not an education. It's not a training session. I told you already, if you want to learn to label charts and do all of that, you need to join the trading room. I think that's a fair call, right? This is a trading session. We're trading. We're trying to take trades here. So you can't come here for trading. We have a special room for that. I welcome all questions, but don't ask me the language. That will be, training you how to do it. So let's see this. Wait for this. If this gets a pullback, then we'll go with it. I see what you're thinking, but if as a pullback for the running flat, and then an entry here would be good to come and break the low. On the big picture, should it break the low? Let's see in the big picture if we're thinking breaking the low. Yeah, it could come back and break the low. Sorry, on the daily. I want the daily, so we can come back pretty deep. This can come back all the way back to the low here. Make a flat like this, because this is a correction of its own. This is a correction here of its own. So you could put it like that, or you could put it like this. I think it's more like this. Let me erase that. This is a smaller correction of its own here. So this sharp move here could come back with a sharp move down here, but can we sell it right now? I don't think it's a good sell right now. Let it pull back first. This is too small. This piece here is too small for this one. And you have two small ones already inside. You have this. So you have this one here, and you have that one. So wait for this pullback. Wait for that pullback. Take the trade to the downside. I like it. Good idea with this, by the way. Gold. Let's look at gold. Okay, gold got back to the top. Wait for the sell. Right, wait for the sell. If it starts to drop, we sell. This is the gold horse. By the way, gold horse should give you a good sell. If this starts to drop, we're going to sell it. Let me go to the gold. I think we have gold here. So we have gold for a sell. Gold is a sell setup. Already a sell setup here. So if this breaks, we want to trade. We already have a sell in gold. Let's see silver. Silver is coming down. Yep, we're waiting for a flag on the silver. Without a flag, we're not going to trade it because of this sharp move here. We have this sharp move here. So if this is a running flat now, if it makes a running flat here, this will go back up. If this is the running flat and this is the top, then we need a flag here to sell. That will confirm the downside. So let's wait for the flag on this one. Right? But the gold you can sell because you already have a flag here. Any other trade setups? Okay, let me look at all the charts I have open. Nope, I don't see anything. You guys tell me if you're looking at anything else. Euro is already going. For those of you in the euro, let's look at it again. It's going good. No need to worry. It will drop and break this low. Expecting it to break this low, then we'll come at that. Was there a running flat on oil? We just did oil. We just looked at the oil. We don't have any running flat on oil. we're waiting for this to go back up or make a flag here. I wouldn't sell it as yet. It's just 2 hours. That's too early. If you think it's dropping, it's too early, because the problem is the sharpness of this one here. Right? That is a little too sharp. So normally when you get that, they will go back up here, complete this, right? Kind of a, you know, you could go 1, 2, 3, go back up there. This will give you 1, 2, 3, and then this could be the drop. That would make sense to me. Unless we get a really good flag here, 5, 6 hours flag, and then we'll sell. We did Pong already. You're in the room, right? From the very start. We did Pong already. We don't have anything on Pong as yet. We have to wait. We'll go with a sell if it actually consolidates. You're in the room. You're in the room from the very start. I said, let this consolidate more, then we'll buy. If it's a sell, it has to break through, make a flag, and then so we can't sell because we're not sure what that is. Right? We can't sell it, and there's no buy setup there yet. Up wave can be part of. You came with. So up wave can be part of what? I'm not sure. You're talking about the Pong maybe. Okay, let's go. What else? Any other trades? Come guys, let's go. So we have some trades. I like the Pong for a sell because it has to come and break this low. The problem is this, right? If this is, I don't see that as the top. I think this one is the top, and that pullback is pretty deep, right? Now, it doesn't really have to break the top in a corrective structure like this. It doesn't have to break that top. This could be the top in a corrective structure, but then it has to break this low and make a flag. Otherwise, I'm not selling this, right? This structurally is different. Like I said, every trade individually will be a little different. When you break the flag, it should be the 4 pattern. Not sure what you mean by that. Somebody asked a question. When you break the flag, it should be the 4 pattern. What do you mean by 4 pattern? Yeah, I understand what you mean by break flag. I don't understand what you mean by 4 pattern. What do you mean by 4 pattern? No, that is incorrect too. The way you draw the pattern, I'm not saying it's incorrect. That's not how I would draw it. Let me put it that way. Okay, that's your 5th chart on pattern, right? And literally you want me to tell you how to identify pattern. It can't happen in this room. It can't happen now. It takes you about 6 weeks to learn the theory of it, and then it'll take you 6 months to learn to identify them correctly. So if you send me another 10 charts like that, and you identify them incorrect, you still wouldn't learn to identify them correct in this room. It's not possible. I'm telling you from my 5 years of training traders, you're not going to learn to identify pattern correctly in this webinar. So don't try to even do it. I understand the logic you're trying to do, but it's not going to happen. It's not that simple. The flag should form one of 4 patterns. No, there are more of it. Flags are all actually, okay, let me explain this for you. I think this is where you'll get confused. Think of it this way. 1 square, 1 square. Well, I hope it's a square, right? We'll assume they're squares. 1 square, 1 square. Daily, 4 hour, 1 hour, 15 minutes. You get my point, right? So this is a square, but it's small. This would be a flag. This would be a correction. This would be a big pattern, a corrective pattern, but a big one. This will be an entire structure. You follow? So let me show you that on the chart now. I will do it right on the Pong that we are in. So we'll start with daily, right? I showed you the daily. We're going to start with the daily. We can input it in the weekly just to be sure, right? This is a weekly structure, see? If you go inside of this, you're going to find 4-hour patterns, 4-hour structures like these. See? And if you go inside of this, you're going to find, if you go in there, you'll find the 4 hours. So let's go into that. We'll have to go back all the way there. I don't know if it will take us back that far in the 4 hour. It definitely wouldn't take us on the, so we'll have to use another one because 4 hour, no, let me go back on the daily. We wouldn't get to go there. So let's start with this. This is a daily square. This would be more of a 4 hour square. This would be more of a 15 minutes one. You follow? They're all patterns, but it's what degree you're looking at. Now, here's the thing. It's not as simple as I showed you there, but I just want you to have a general idea of how you would look at them, or how you would look at patterns. So the same thing. See, you have one here. You have a smaller one here. We're looking at a much smaller one at the bottom here. See, we're looking at this smaller one here. You have that big one, you have this one. Inside of this, you have flats. If you look at inside of that, you would see a smaller version of flats or patterns. So we're going to go inside of that. And I can tell you for sure, we bought this. This one here. See this here? We bought it. Right? We didn't sell. I think we sold this one. I'm not sure because we thought it would come here and go back up, but it did that, but that would have been a break even. Right? We didn't trade anything more until we broke the top, and then we started to look for sells. So to come back to the same thing here. See, I'm looking at this, and I'm looking at this as a single move in a square. So this could come back like this, go back there, and that's my sell from here. I would buy this. I might not get a trade here, but I'll buy this and I'll sell this. I'm looking at this. If this comes here and make a flag, I'll go with this. I'll sell that, either to make a bigger correction here and then go back up, or to drop, break the low, right? We're trying to make something here. If this stays here in this range and do this, we'll buy it. See? So it's not simple. You have to know where you are on the bigger one. You have to know where you are on the smaller one. And then you understand, right? Is this correct? Let's see. Yeah, that looks good. It is correct. That's how I would do it, put it that way. I want to know what was in front here as well, too. I want to know what was in front there as well. But I like that, yeah. My question, when you zoom in the smaller one, you must see regular run. Yeah, not, well, we don't normally look at it. But you must see a pattern. There must be a pattern in it. But with experience, you'll stop looking. You'll just take the flag. You'll understand, but you're still looking for a pattern inside of it. Gold trade active. Okay, let's go. Good. See, there is a pattern in there. Let's go into 5 minutes. See? See it? You see that, right? You see the pattern in here, and that is why we waited for it. Make sense? So there is always, it's always about the structure, what you're seeing, what structure. Now, the aggressive trader would put it here. If we were in the trading room, the entry order would be higher. But I mean, we're not in the trading room here. We're in the general public, so we're not gonna get to a thing, right? We're gonna go very slow. It works, right? That's the magic. So what's the next one? EuroCAD is also going good, yeah. EuroCAD is already an active trade going. So this is the second active trade. If you close this and you re-enter, it's okay. If you didn't close it, the two options, right? You either put it to break even or you close it. There's a running flat here, right? So probably this could still go back up. This could still pull back. See, there's a possible running flat here forming. It could still pull back, but I would not be worried about it. It might be a running flat and drop, right? So no need to worry about it. If you were in this trade and you close and you re-enter, put a stop here, which means you put it to break even, right? It will be the break even trade. You already booked a little. It goes back up, you would lose a little. But if it continues to drop, good enough. We'll stay with it. See? We know this has a lot more to go, so there's no need to rush. Euro is going good as well. The euro dollar is going very well. So if you're in the euro dollar trade, you're doing well. It will break this low, it'll eventually drop to the bottom and break that low. What are the trades? Come, let's go. We're trading, right? So let's take trades. Any other trade setups, guys? Anything else you good? So we have the euro CAD, euro dollar, gold. New Zealand is going down, but I don't like it that much. I don't like this as yet. It's early. I don't like this pullback for this to go. If it comes, it's just going to come a little lower and then go back up. So let's wait. We broke this, but I don't think this is total downside. So stay away from that. Let's see Aussie. Close the Aussie. We willfully close the Aussie for positive because it's not going as fast as we'd like. If it pulls back, then we'll sell it. So if Aussie pulls back here now, let it break this low here. Pull back there. We'll go with a running flat and then we'll take that trade down. That would be a better trade if we get it. No, actually, we wanted to come down so we can look for the buy. Somebody asked a question. Oh, that's okay. That's my trader. If we let it come down and make the lower it come, the better it's for the buy. That's our trader. Okay, yeah, then I just realized your name. So you wanted to come lower, and then you look for it. He's asking if we're gonna stop looking for the buy in the New Zealand. Right? No, we're not. We're actually waiting for that buy. So it doesn't matter even if it comes all the way here, right? Even if it comes here. Once it gives you this, we're going back to retest because this would still be a flat. See, 1, 2, 3. Can it break the low and then go back up? That question is for you, right? You're in the trade. You know that. You know the answer to that question. Running flat, downside. So keep an eye on it. We'll go in the trading room and manage them as well. Pound Oz 1 hour flat. Pound Oz. Let me see the Pound Oz 1 hour flat for you. 1 hour flat. Oh, you mean this big one here, right? It's kind of pulled back quite a lot. I wasn't expecting it to go that high. We're in this big structure as well. We're in this huge structure. See that huge correct. I don't think it's over because we had a big flat here, and we got to pull back there. So I think it's just going to be a more long drawn out structure, a very long drawn out corrective structure. If you put it like this. We broke out of this, but it's kind of a long drawn out structure for downside. I don't think it's over. I think it has to come back up. At some point, even if you drop here, you have to go back up there, complete this here, and then kind of drop, right? So it's a little different. So we'll have to wait. This one does have some weird structure, but you can see this here. We got this, we're trading that down. So let this finish what it's doing. It's not clear. It's not a complete pattern clear the way I see it, and then we'll go. So if you look at a big structure, you're making 1, 2, and the problem is this piece in the middle of all of this. When that happens, you tend to get 1, 2, 3, and you tend to go back up like this. So you get something like this. And then you come here and then you go back up like that. And then you get something like this. I can show you a pattern like that right in the same chart here. So let's go back and search for one of that. It wouldn't be that difficult to find. So let's take, for example, first move up, 1, 2, 3 down, right? First move up, 1, 2, 3 down. See that? See this? Then the next move goes back up. The next move goes back up, you get this, and then you drop. So then you drop. See? Right in the same chart I showed you. Not very far, I show you a similar pattern. Shall we see this? You can find it everywhere. I can show you another one in the same chart. And I can keep doing that for the rest of the day if you want. But that's not why we're here. So let's go back to trading. We don't have a 1 hour structure sell at the bottom there. Not a great one. We can take the sell if we get it from here. If this turned out to be a sell here, if it gives us a flag here, if it comes and gives us a flag here, we'll sell this flag to retest the low and then upside. You're looking for a sell on the AU 200. I think we looked at the AU 200 already for you yesterday. Let me see. Let's take a look at it. The U200 should be the bottom here. Yep. Yep. Yeah, I like that. Good sell setup. Wait for it to go back up first. Put the entry under the low. It's not going to be that bad. But I think it looks upside. See the 15. If you look at this, you have this structure. You have 1, 2, 3. This one is going to go up first to that level, break that up. See this 1, 2, 3 up there. You're making a flag here for upside. Break that up and then drop. So you can, when this go back to the top above here, put an entry here for the sell. Okay, Andre? So let it go up first. Then you go, because you'll be a little too early. But I think it's already making an attempt to go up, so you can put the sell here, and then you'll put the sell here, and then you'll see if you get it from the top. That'd be good. Good one, by the way. It's a nice 1 hour consolidation, and yep, you have a bigger flat here to support that sell. We have a chart. Let me see. Let's see what this is. That's a lot of cells you have there. Where did you take the cells from? It's good, but where are you taking them from? This is the euro. Euro USD. Yeah. Where did you sell from? You have to. Can you draw on the chart? Tell me the sell point. Was it here? Was it here? Or was it here? Right. And these cells, where did you take these cells? Here, or here, or here? Oh, this is where you take the cells. Where those arrows are. So this was a sell. This, okay, I think I got it. So you sold. Here's a problem. I don't know what your account size looked like, but this is what you're doing here is dangerous. It's very, very dangerous. You see, you took these cells. I believe these cells were taken here, right? You took those cells in here for this one to drop, and then it go up and it does that. Close the trade. You kept those trades hoping it's going to still come back here. This thing could literally do that. This was a low. That was a week. You weren't there in this morning, right? If you were in this morning, you would know that this is an absolute low on the weekly and daily, which means this could literally have taken off. And I mean, when literally, I mean really fast. I don't know where your stop is, because if the stops are here, well, then you would have been taken out there, but that's really, really dangerous. You don't need to keep them. And that's one of the things we do. We do what you call trade management. When we take trades and they don't go, we get the hell out of them and we get back in them, right? So we get out and we get back in. And why is this here? This is already dropping. It should be somewhere here. All of these should be already in entry, right? So I'm not sure. What's the question? What do you want me to look at for you? Here. Because this cell here, when it go back up, should have been closed. This one is a good one. This should close. You should take that and close it. Close it for positive. You had a chance to close it for positive. And then re-enter. So trade management is bad. You need good trade management rules. Otherwise, you're going to get yourself in big trouble. Here's the thing. I'm going to give you guys a secret. The market says 90% of traders lose money. These are broker stats, right? 90% of traders lose money in the market. You know why they lose money? It's not because you can't find a good trade. Most traders would get 70% winning trades, and they would lose their account, or they would be losing on their account. They'll not be making money, although they got 70% winning trades. Because when they win small. The problem with most traders, and I have done so much one-on-one with traders who are losing, that traders would make 50 good trades, and then 5 bad trades are going to take away all that money. It's not about getting in a trade. It's about getting out a trade that is trader's problem. Getting out a trade, especially when it's not going your way. Now, if any one of you here has never had that problem where you made about 3 winning trades and then 1 bad trade took away that, if that has never happened to you, give me a Y or an X or anything. Just give me a letter. If that has never, ever happened to you, give me an X. I assume that there are no X's, 0 X's, right? Because that is exactly what happens. And when we figure out that it was about 2 years ago when I figured out I was doing a lot of one-on-one with traders when I figured that out. Because we had traders who doubled their account, and then in 4 or 5 trades, they started losing 50% of that. I'm like, how did that happen? It took you 50 trades to double your account. In 4 trades, you're losing 50% of what you had, right? And then we created what is called trade management. Now you would hear some people out there, Guru, talking about, nobody ever spoke about anything named trade management until I mentioned it 2 years ago. And then the people who are selling things out there but are in my group, they're in my group, but they're selling their own stuff out there. They went and they start selling it too. But the thing is the way we do it in our thing, right? The rules we have very strict rules of how you're going to manage your trade. So that what if you use the mathematics correct, here is the deal. So let's do it mathematically. It's not as easy as this, but this is the math of it. So let's say you take 100 trades and you're risking 1% per trade. Forget about the size of your account. This is just the thing, right? You take 100 trades and you're risking 1% per trade. Let's say you make 50 winning trades. Winning trades, I would consider trades that went 1% and more, right? So 1% and more. That means you make 50% and more upwards, right? Let's say you lose, right? You lose 30% of your trades. 30% is 1%, you're losing exactly 1 because you're risking 1%. So you're going to lose 30% of your trade, right? If you can get 20% of your trade at break even, you make money. See, you make money. If this 30% of the trade, you're losing more than 2 to 1, you don't make money. That's 60% you lost. And most traders end up losing 1 loss, 3, 4, 5 to 1. Right? 3, 4, 5 to 1, not only 2 to 1. So you can imagine what happens. And that is if you're a good trader. If you're not such a good trader and you're getting in the wrong side of the trade, you're getting in the wrong side of the trade, and you're only winning 30% of your trade. Let me give you the worst stats. You're only winning 30% of your trade. You're losing 50% of your trade, and 20% of your trade are break even. In a normal situation, you would be losing money. But what if this here? What if this here? You can take this to 2 to 1 or 1 to 1. That is be 30% and above. If you can cut all of this to 0.5 of your loss, that is only going to be 25% loss. And this is break even. That's true break even, right? You still made 5% in your account. So the problem is not making winning trades. The problem is what do you do with losing trades? And if you ask my trader, I always say this to them. Good trades is going to take care of themselves. You have to take care of the bad trades. That's the philosophy I'm using. The good trades will take care of themselves. You don't have to do anything. If you get into trading, it's a good trade. It's going to take off like a rocket or fall like a rock, and you're going to make money in it. Your problem is not your good trades when you get it right. Your problem is when you get it wrong and it's not going your way. Or you're even right on the analysis, but that one didn't go immediately. Some traders like to stay with it and hope it's going to go. And, sometimes it does go. I'm not saying it's not going to go. And the worst thing that could happen to you is if you stay with the first 5 of your bad trades and they go your way. That's the worst thing that happened to you, because now you're very much convinced that they're all going to go your way. You have developed a conviction that they're going to go. I don't care what anybody said. I've kept those 5 and they came back and they were like 5 times upside down, but then they came back and I made profit. Wow. That's the worst thing that happens to you. Because now that conviction is not going to be erased so easily. Join us. There's a reason. Come on, guys. $100 for what $100 a month for what you're getting is, you can't pay for it. Let's put it that way. And you're getting it for free. The $100 goes towards your course fee. Whatever you're getting for free. Is there anybody from the installment program in here now? Anybody? No one from the installment program in the room right now? Okay, there are at least 2 people, right? 3 people from the installment program. You guys, well, you should go, these 3 of you should go on YouTube now and leave the comments. Whether it's helping you or not. Tell people whether it's helping you or not. I'm not going to ask my traders. They're in the group already. They're pretty happy, right? The 3 installment people who gave me the yes, you can go and thing. the three of you should go and leave the message. Tell people what is it so they would know what they're getting from it. And hope to see the three of you in the group very soon. Right? So I like this trade. Okay, guys. So we have what else we have? All the trades are going. I'm gonna run through them very quick. Let's go through. Dollar index, you don't really have anything. Right? We're gonna take this off. You take this off, it's already at the top. Take that off if you're gonna try it. So we have gold sell going good. That's going good. Here's the thing. I will leave now, and if you don't know what to do with trade, put it to break even. And take profit whenever you want. I think it's gonna come to break this low. So, but if you're not sure how to manage, my traders will go in the trading room and manage it. If you don't know what to do, and you're not in my group, put it to break even so you don't lose your money. That's the main thing, right? Euro is going really good. You're about to take profit in euro. This is about to be a very good trade, right? It will break the low, you'll get your profit. Let's see. Euro Oz, it just tagged you. So you would have to, if you don't know how to manage it, again, if you don't know how to manage the trade, I don't know what to tell you, but my traders, you know what to do, right? You know how to manage trades. Euro New Zealand, this will tag you very soon. It will go to Euro Swiss. You're already in this trade here. If you put it here, you got tagged in the trade, you will get tagged in the trade. Watch it when it comes to this level. If it's not going within a couple hours, get the hell out of it, right? Euro CAD, you should already be in profit. Very good profit. So you had 2 entries to get profit. You have this one, you had this one, you have this one, all of them in profit. Now you can't lose on any of those trades. Only 2 trades is just tagged you that you could get out for break even or lose small. That is the Euros, Euros. And remember again, our philosophy is you're going to lose small. You never will let it go to your stop loss. We hardly let a trade go back to our stop loss. There are very few trades in the last year that has ever hit our stop loss. We get rid of them way before that happens. And that's the key to success, because now if you're getting rid of your bad trades, just imagine even if you're making 80% bad trades and you can make 60% of those bad trades break-even trades, you only lost 20. So the next 20 are winning. If you're losing 20 at 1 and you're winning 20 at 2, you still are 20% up in your account. That is amazing. That's the whole thing. Deal with your bad trades so they don't get worse. Traders tend to leave them to get from bad to worse, from worse to whatever, to catastrophe, and then from catastrophe to panic, and then from panic to, oh my God, this thing is not working. It's in front of you, right? We are trading. Go tell the people who say we don't trade in our trading room what we do. This is what we do in our trading room every single day, 5 times a day. Would you like to have access? Make your mind up. See all of you. Thank you very much for coming. I hope to see double the amount of people tomorrow. We had more people. We had about 55 people. That's still very small. We can have 110 tomorrow. Every one of you bring a friend. Invite somebody. There is a trader you know who is struggling that needs this information. Go back, share the link again. You would need to take the link, the 5-minute link. It's 3 minutes only, the 3-minute video with the thing. Share that as much as you can. You'll help somebody. There will be somebody here who will sit and get something out of this. And I'm looking forward to all the comments in the videos, all of them. Go share. I don't care about the comments. Let me be honest. I just care that the YouTube search engine would take the comment as being a popular video and share it more. So when you put a comment, I would give you a standard answer. Those standard answers I'm giving you are what YouTube is actually suggesting. I just give you those standard answers just so that they have more comments on them and that thing. I really don't care about it, but the search engine cares about it, right? So since we have to feed the engine what it wants so that it can share it more. Okay, last one. Let's see. This is the last thing before we go. What is the question to this? No, this is not how I would look at the structure. So when we come tomorrow, come back with this chart and I'll show you how I look at it, right? So tomorrow, take care, everybody. Good trading, trade with care. See all of you tomorrow. Thanks for being here. Bye-bye.